Now, as I was saying, people think the more rich, the more fruit I have. What's the harvest? What's the harvest going to gather up? So what's the fruit? You're trying to lead people to God. Not lead people to God and the world. You can't do both. You can't serve two masters. You see, the disciples figured it out. They figured out that what we can't figure out still to this day. Leave, forsake all, and follow me. Does that mean everybody gonna do that? No, he said to whom much is given, much is required. All right. Let's say God gave you a big mega church, $1 million church. Don't you think you should be doing more now for the community, for everything? Or you should be focusing on getting your church bigger? I talked about this yesterday. You know, I know a lot of people who look broke. I really do. I'm talking about don't wear fancy clothes. You see them look like they got on work clothes all the time. Bank account on full. But you know they help a lot of people in the neighborhood with that full bank account. And so they ain't even loan sharks. People just know. It was a man, family friend, his name was Mr. Frank Rubin. And he was a member of a church. He was. Don't get me wrong. But he never dressed up. He never was fancy. He even dressed sloppy looking. If you saw him on the street, you wouldn't even tell he was a God-fearing man. But I remember he would help anybody. And his bank account stayed on full. But he didn't walk around looking like he was rich. And he helped anybody who needed help. I ain't say he was a perfect man. I knew he had some flaws too, but I just watched how much he helped other people. And he was a man of God. He didn't really talk about the gospel that much, but he behaved it. Do you understand? He behaved it. But he always had a raggedy car. Guess how he'll paint his car? He'll spray paint it. People think he was cheap, but when it comes to helping other people, he wasn't so cheap. He died at like 92 years old. I remember he told me a parable about black folks. He said black folks don't believe in helping each other out. He said, he told a story. He said, a man said, I'm gonna put $50,000 on the top of a light pole. The first person to get up there and get it is theirs. So the black people get up there, they pulling each other down, Time ran out. The white man get up there, they helping each other up. Then when they get up there, they split the money. Mexicans, Chinese, the same. You know why I believe this? Because I grew up in a neighborhood called Down the Bay. And I used to watch the people who had money. And I watched how they would treat the people that was on crack and this and that. Dog them out. And you see them church folks be like, man, that's so low down for them to be on that crack like that. Church folk frowned them, wouldn't help them. But they praised the drug dealers because they had a little money. Same way with pastors and stuff. I'm being real with you. They don't look no different from the mob to me. God give us wealth to share. I used to always think like My blessings ain't your blessings. Yes, they are. That's when I was a baby. You know, when you stingy and stuff, like, give me some of your sucker. Nope, this is my sucker. And that's how I see like a lot of church leaders are. Think about in the church. You got the pastor getting paid this much money, 300,000. It's just like a job. That the usher getting paid this much. It's like a hierarchy. What in the hell does a pastor need that much money for? So all you gotta do is preach good, and they give you a high salary like that. You ain't gotta do no work, just read from the Bible. That's all you gotta do. And sound good doing it. And we're gonna pay you this much money. Why you think they don't never talk about their income? That's irrelevant. A man that spread the word should live off the word. So should. The word said every man should work. I breezed through Acts again. We was like, he ran into that chick. He was like, they were the same profession. Paul was like, give me a job. Paul was like, hey man, I gotta go in there, establish a church and take up tithes and offerings. You know, you rarely see that even happen in the New Testament. Like I said, one time, and that's in the first book of Acts. I mean, in Acts, I mean, the one time they took up a collection and they spreaded it. They separated it from according to what other people needed. They were like, so I'm the preacher, I'm the apostle of the Lord, I need more than you. If you think about it, the apostles probably got less than those people that had like 6 kids, 3 kids. They got just what they needed. But that's not how the world is. Why do you think a lot of people want to be preachers? A lot of people want to be teachers now. You think they want to do it because they love God that much? Look at them. If you love God so much, you'll do it for free. And you'll get you a job. One thing I do appreciate about Gino said, Gino got a real estate business. He works. When he say that, man, you ought to hear pastors. That ain't what he's supposed to do. Yes, it is. He's trying. Do I agree with everything that Gino preaches? No, but I agree with that. How can you set the example of a man? So basically, this is the example a lot of y'all preachers are setting up for men. Find God, start a building, beg. That's the example y'all setting. Why do I have to do this for you? That's the example you're telling me. If I give my life to God, then I start begging, and I start, come on, y'all. I need to quit my work, right? That's what you telling me, Pastor. If I'm following your lead, get married, quit my job, beg people to build me a building so I can pay my bills, and my wife can go on vacations off your backs. That's exactly what you're telling me to do. And Jesus never told us such a thing in his whole Bible to do that. Like I said, y'all can relearn that from the Old Testament when they was building the tabernacle. Right? The people's like, Aaron, like the people gave too much, man. Tell them that's enough. When the last time your pastor did that? It's enough money. No, give. Give. Let me pause and I will continue again.